Your vocal cords are kind of like, well, they're like any other muscle. You know, if you train it, if you exercise it, if you practice, it's going to get stronger and build. You also want to make sure you don't overdo it and you cause a strain or you cause weakness and overexertion. At a certain point when I was on tour, I took my first vocal lesson because I was like, I need to know how to preserve my voice, you know, how to warm it up. I have no clue how to do this. So I met with Don Lawrence out of New York, and he gave me this vocal warm-up tape that I could take on the road with me, travel with it, and I've used it ever since. It's like, since I was 16 years old, I've had this vocal tape.
Okay, start from here, Christina. In soprano, on ooh.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh. I found that, you know, the actual lessons portion of it, you have to be careful with because you don't want to, I mean, for me, singing is just so pure and it's just such an innate thing I have to do for myself and my soul. So, you know, making it anything too contrived didn't really flow with me. It didn't really help me in any way. And the stuff that I used to love singing when I was little was like, you know, blues and soul and your Ettas and your Ninas and your Billie Holidays. Those were the songs, you know, I would sing. Old time rock and roll, even Bob Seger, like at certain gigs of mine when I was really young. And those are songs that really is just out of, those things come out of raw emotion and love and just being natural and from the heart. That doesn't really require, you know, just this note has to be perfect and this note has to be that. It was only later on when you're working so much that your voice needs a little bit of help to, you know, just stay warm when you're just on the go, constantly using it like that.
Andi felice.
Andi felice, 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 andi felice.
Another thing I was kind of taught was your throat has a ton of muscles in there. And even if you're in a place where it might be, you know, very soft and, you know, sometimes you're a little embarrassed to be like, la, 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 like wherever you are and you don't want to be drawing attention to yourself, or even if you have a strained or sore throat. Sometimes it's just good to just, you know, if you have a memory of already knowing what your vocal warm-up feels like, not just sounds like, but just feels like when you do it in your throat, you can actually exercise those muscles without doing anything verbally, or, you know, you don't have to actually sing in order to warm up your voice. Even a little bit of throat opening, muscle contractions, and things like that, almost do it in your head, but don't even sing out. Sort of contract your muscles in the way that you're thinking in your head about some of your vocal warm-ups. And that even helps. I mean, even mentally to listen to the vocal warm-up in a headphone or in the car or whatever that may be, and just expanding your throat and your muscles in the way that you would if you were singing out, because it's all in there, it's all doing the same thing without the actual voice being used. One of the things that I think I probably regret not doing before any performance or anything of mine is knowing how to stretch. I would suggest learning just how to just do simple stretches and how to breathe into your body and allow air to go through. And yoga has helped me a lot with that, just how to sit up a little taller and knowing how to breathe. And how to breathe is actually an art within itself. You know, as a writer, you're always kind of like in this position, whether you're in your chair or whether you're in your bed. And so it's always like you're leaning over constantly. And you start to get in this position, right? Your back becomes, you know, hunched over, you get back pains, things. That's why massages are so important, and it's good to pamper yourself when you have the time. But, you know, it's so important to know, you know, how to bring that back up. And then, you know, I use blocks, you know, they're yoga blocks that you put in the center of your back and you just lay backwards, even over this chair or an exercise ball or something like that, where you could just have the ability to just lay flat and just put your arms back and stretch. It does a lot. And just take a few moments and just breathe into your body like that. And you can feel how, you know, there's static energy that gets kind of, you know, gets all jumbled and it just gets sticky in there. And to open it up and to know how to breathe is, it's a really great thing to be able to do for anxiety, for stress, for having a better vocal approach. The worst are the morning shows sometimes. We have to wake up at, you know, 2, 3 a.m., get into hair and makeup, and be ready on camera by 5 or 6. You know, it's a crazy thing. Then it's like, how do I warm up my voice when I'm so groggy? You go to bed extra early the night before, and you have to wake up. And sometimes the only time you have is the time in the car to warm up your voice and do whatever it is. If I feel like I've already been doing a lot of shows and I'm already kind of, my voice is in a pretty good place, then maybe I'll lessen my vocal warm-up because, you know, to overexert myself with the vocal warm-up and the show and doing that, I might not have if I overexert myself in even my vocal warm-up to be show ready and to hit a lot of my high notes there. Don't overexert yourself, you know, so I might do like a few scales at the opening and just feel myself out, and then maybe hit a few like high, like, hey, 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 hey. You know, I kind of just would go up in like a few notes just like that, just to like get it out and hear myself do it. And I call it clearing the cobwebs. You know what I mean? Just whatever's in there, whatever stickiness, just to like, you know, just get it out, even if it's not even a full vocal warm-up. So it's a matter of, you know, just if you don't have time to pop in whatever the music is, your vocal warm-up, just even going through certain things yourself, just to project your voice. And as I say, clear the cobwebs, just to sort of get your voice ready to even mentally prepare, I'm about to sing.